Welcome back, everybody. My name is Gregtech, and this is Gregtech New Horizons. So when I left off at the very end of the last video, I had finished making the Tier 2 heavy-duty plate, and now I've got the rest of the parts that I need in order to go ahead and make that IV chip. This guy right here, the main frame. That does take a little bit of time, but not a ton of time. Let's see, it only takes it 80 seconds? Yeah, a little over a minute to get that done. And then I already put in the rest of the soldering alloy, and I've got my data stick and my Tier 2 heavy plate. Those guys are necessary in order to knock out the rest of this quest. Oh, it didn't pick up that I had my mainframe in my... Oh, I haven't made it yet. Whew. Oh, I'm crazy. I want to make sure that I pick that thing up so that I get quest credit rather than having to make another one at some point in the future and then make the Tier 2 chip so that I can get to the next quest. The next quest has you disassemble the old rocket, which I also have. Oddly enough, for as big as the rocket is, it fits in a bag. So that's kind of hilarious. It's not like the dolly. So I don't mind having that. I wonder if the dolly fits in the big bags. Who knows? But in any case, here comes that chip. There we go. I just want to make sure I get credit for it so that it does that part of it. And now it's going to take an insane amount of time. Hey, look at that. It actually leaves you with the data stick. Very nice. Now this is going to take a while. This is going to take 450 seconds, which is, what is that, 3/4 of 10 minutes, which is something like 7.5 minutes. So I'm not going to sit here and talk all through this thing. Instead, I don't really have anything else to show. I've still been fighting with the decision on this stupid LCR. I figured if I'm going to think about it, why not do something else in the meantime that will get me moving towards progress, because I don't want to be stuck for another month waiting for myself to make a decision. So I have the stuff for the oil crackers. I just haven't set those up yet behind this guy, and that's partly because I was actually using these things to get the toluene in order to make all of this industrial TNT. I figured I was going to need quite a bit of industrial TNT in order to get through the next steps, because when you disassemble the rocket, let's see here. Yeah, when you go through the arc furnace and you disassemble the rocket, you get a bunch of the alloys back as well as some of the steel. But then you're going to have to smash these guys in the implosion compressor. And of course, I definitely prefer using the industrial TNT to do that. Then from there, it'll use up a little bit more tungsten steel in order to make some of the Tier 2 plates, and that will end that. So Tier 2, if we take a look at this guy, this one right here. We have some of the Tier 1 plates that we just used straight off the bat. Some of these you have to upgrade to the Tier 2 plates, which is unfortunate. And then you need these rocket boosters, which need some compressed meteoric steel, as well as some extra heavy-duty plates. So I will definitely be making more heavy-duty plates, and the annoying oxygen vents, which have even more compressed metals. So I wish there was an easier way of working with those guys. Unfortunately, this is a material sink in order to upgrade, or in order to make new rockets to access new planets. But at least the rockets let you go back to previous planets if you need to gather resources there. The next thing that I would need to look at doing is progressing enough in my witchery setup over there in order to make magic circles. And the magic circles I could teleport back and forth between places if I wanted to set something like that up. In the meantime, before you get to like the techie stuff, I think I can do those magic circles. They may have gated some of the materials now to sit behind stuff I don't have yet in terms of the items you have to toss down in the circle to teleport. So that's something I will explore in the future, but at least for right now, I'm going to let that thing finish over in the clean room, and I will bring you guys back in once I've got some more progress on this rocket. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, I went ahead and got the next couple of steps done. I had gone ahead and picked up my Tier 2 schematic, and then recycled my rocket for its parts, and then right now I'm about to complete that next quest, which was to make 10 of those Tier 2 heavy plates. And again, those heavy plates are there for the Tier 2 rocket. If we take a look at the Tier 2 rocket itself, it wants those 10 Tier 2 heavy plates that run along the sides of the rocket. So I can actually go ahead and take these over here. Let's just take a look real quick here. Tier 2, this guy, and it sits up to and surrounds that middle section. So here we go, up to, and like that. So there we go. There is our Tier 2 plates. I may not want to put them in there. I might end up accidentally picking it up instead of having all those parts in my inventory and getting credit for that quest. That would be pretty terrible. In any case, I have to work on thermal cloth. Enchanted fabric isn't bad. Meteoric iron string isn't bad. Aluminum foil, that's super easy. So it should not be too difficult to get to that 24 thermal cloth and then make these things of thermal padding. Yeah, it just takes the EV assembler that we've already got made, and then the circuit that is set to, I believe it's 4, 5, 7, and 8. Is I believe what that is. This one being the most there, yeah, 8. So yeah, we will work on getting the thermal padding, also working on making 2 of these boosters. The Mars lander is a pain in the rear because you have to make another lander, as well as the parachute and stuff, in order to make the nice little bubble lander thing. That's most iconic for me from that movie. Oh, what movie? Well, what was the name of that movie? Not Terraforming Mars. What is it? Anyway, there's a movie that had one of those bubble things that bounces around on the Martian surface when they try to land. It's got a robotic dog in it. I don't know. Any case, that thing, and then also working on the rocket itself. And then, of course, as you can see, once you have the rocket, it talks about having you make an oxygen sealer, a bacterial sludge, slimelings, arc lamps, large oxygen tanks. Those would be nice. Large oxygen tanks would be nice. Salt water and chlorobenzene. Ooh, chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene itself would be nice to just mine up instead of having to... what's it called? Instead of having to make it yourself with chlorine and benzene. That might be something worth building an oil miner and see if there's any chlorobenzene near the landing spot. Yeah, pretty good stuff. And then it also, once you do the thermal cloth, also has you go for the grapple. I never found the grapple very useful, especially since I have the copter pack, but it's there as an optional quest. So I'm going to get started working towards these guys, and we'll see if we can't finish up this rocket. Hopefully. We'll see. See you in a bit. Alright, my first order of business is to make this lander, the Tier 2 rocket module. So I believe I have all the things I need. I've got my computer monitor cover. I have my HV sensor. And then if I plug those guys into this mess, I have my frequency module. Then if I plug the frequency module into here, the only thing I have left is that rocket engine, but I need to make 3 of them. I need 2 for the rocket itself and then 1 for that lander. So I've got that all set up here like that. let's see here. Over here, I have the activity covers. So that should be good to go there. The last couple things are I've got my 3 steel frames, my 12 steel rods, and my 12 steel plates. And if I go ahead and plug those in, while the cockatiel decides to be extra noisy even while covered. There are those, and then if I pull open this bag, it looks like I don't have an empty canister. I got plenty of locks, so I am going to need to do something about this. Since I have this stuff up here, oh boy, it's raining, yay. He is really going crazy over there. He's playing with a toy. He's got this metal hanging toy, and he likes to rub his head on it and then gets mad at it and attacks it, which then it swings around, which smacks him in the face, which makes him more mad. It's extremely helpful. All right, so since I'm going to use that for the rocket anyway, I can go ahead and put it in there. And that will give me the empty canister I need in order to make these guys. So one at a time, making those. So there's all 3 of the rocket engines. And then if I go ahead and, whoops, put one of those right there, there is the lander module. Now I want to make sure that the lander module gets calculated in there so I don't have to worry about that. And then from there I can make the lander itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in the lander, put in the parachute, put in the 3 canvas, and there we go. There is that lander. The lander, I think, goes somewhere right around there. Doesn't matter. I need to remember to pull it out anyway before I get too far. The next thing I'm going to focus on making is the boosters. It's going to need a... It's going to need these oxygen vents. Heavy duty plates are pretty easy. Compressed meteoric iron. These things are triple meteoric plates. So I'm going to have to cook up some of that to get those guys out. I need 6 of those. And then 2 oxygen vents. These things are the most annoying things ever. Like, really? I have to make a whole bunch of compressed crap. And then bars on top of more compressed crap. And then wonderful bats. Yay. Yay, life. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and gather up the parts to make all this stuff. I will return once I've got a bit more of it made. Also, in my magic bag, I have 16 of the enchanted fabric. I need 24 of the enchanted fabric, so I'm going to get that. And then... the other thing that I need for this thermal cloth is this meteoric iron string. I believe that is... Oh, it's a wire mill. Okay. So I should be able to extrude... Oh, right. I used the forge hammer for that. I should be able to extrude this, yeah, with my MV extruder. So I'm going to get some more of that as well because each of these will turn into one long rod, and then that long rod will turn into 4. So that's going to require me to make 26. Let me see, 2, 16, 24. So I'm going to need to make 24 ingots for this, and then in addition to that, I also need the other... Wait, that's not what I needed it for. What's the other thing for? This guy right here, this other 6. So that's going to be 3 times 6, so another 18 in order to get that. So I'm going to have to smelt that stuff up. I'm going to get this stuff going. Hopefully when I get back, I'll be at the part where I am crafting the thermal the thermal fabric and the 2 boosters. And so we'll see you here in a bit. All right, it's time for another big push on this setup for getting this Tier 2 rocket done. Right here I made a little bit extra of the double compressed bronze and aluminum, but I do have the stuff necessary in order to make 2, and then where did I put that 3rd one? Oh, I put it over here. So there's a 3rd one of those. So now I've got my 3 small fuel canisters, so that's good. There, and there. Let's go ahead and grab all 10 of these. Hopefully that will Register is complete there. Excellent. All I have left is the Tier 1 booster, the rocket fins, and the nose cone. Oops. So, putting those guys back and those guys back. I need the boosters. Since I have that stuff done, I can now hook in that and that. There is my nose cone. There is the 24 pieces of thermal cloth that I needed. Let me just double check. I believe I had that quest. Yeah, I got the first part of that done already. There's our 24 thermal cloth. Now I just need to craft the rest of that armor. The last thing is this guy over here. Here is our 4 rocket fins that we need. All right, there's that. Let's go ahead and put the... Oh, I probably clicked it in such a way that it stuck them back in there. All right, file. I don't need those taking up single slots in there. And saw. There we go. And these guys can go back in there where they live. There's my screwdriver. Looks like I have the hammer. Is the hammer still in there? Yep. There we go. Crazy stuff. All right, so there's the hammer. Here is my circuit programmer. And then what I can do is I can start off with, let me just double check that it's the 4 for the thermal padding. Yeah, it's a 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and that's probably going to want it to be in a bit of a more powerful thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. In the meantime, I can do this. Get it to a 5. So there's the 5. And it's going to take just a little bit of time there. And then there's a 7 and an 8. And that will make our thermal armor, which will be fantastic. What's the last thing we're missing on the rocket right now? The rocket, oh, the boosters. And that's because they're over here. So I made all of those things. Oh, I may have used up the heavy plates that I was supposed to keep for this stuff. Shoot. I may have to go back and make more heavy plates because I don't think I have enough. I have 2, and I'm missing the other 8 that I need. So I'm going to have to make a little bit more stuff. That's a bummer. There's those. What else is there? Oh, okay. Those go there, and then I need a filled fuel canister each for those. And then I've got to make, I've got to make 8 more of these heavy-duty plates, and that might actually make me have to get some extra stuff. I don't think I have enough steel. I may even have to make more aluminum at this point. All right, so 7. Oh, pardon me. Whew. All right, 7, 7. There we go. I am also making a bunch more of the industrial TNT because I had 4 stacks. It used up more than those 4 stacks worth of industrial TNT to make all of this stuff. Even at 1 each for those low-end pieces, it takes forever. All right, let's go ahead and do this. And there we go. We'll make some more. There we go. Slowly getting some more industrial TNT made while I'm getting other stuff made, like the helmet. And then the last one, pop that guy in, get me an 8. And there we go. Let's go ahead and put the programmer away. I have all the rest of these things. So I should be able to put those there, nose cone there. Those two things. Oh, that's the tier 3 rocket. I need the tier 2 rocket. This guy. One there, one there. Ah, okay. That and that. And then as soon as I get those boosters made, fins and everything else is looking good. Boosters, fins. All right. So I will take another quick break. I've got to make another 4 of these, sorry, not 4, another 8 of these heavy-duty plates, which is going to be another 24, 8 times 3, yeah, 24 steel, aluminum, and bronze. So I'll be back after I get all that stuff done. I'll probably also have to wait until I get enough industrial TNT together in order to put this guy together. And then that goes there. Let me just double check. If I do that, or I've already got that done, as soon as I make those, then that will complete that, which will be all done with that, and that will get me the tier 2 rocket. Fantastic. All right, so the last thing then is just to get those. And I'll also have that shirt popped out and get that quest complete as well. So I look forward to seeing you guys back here as soon as we're ready to finish building this rocket. All right, took me a little bit of doing, but finally got there and got my last of the heavy-duty plates. As you can see, it's kind of fitting. It's a blood moon. Yeah, fun times. There is one booster. And there is... Oh, that one's only partially filled. That's not going to do us any good. Get a fully filled one. And 2. Now, that should get us all of that complete. It also completed the booster quest. Good. And then if we plug these guys in here, bam, there is our tier 2 rocket complete. And there is the last piece of our thermal padding complete. Excellent. So that should get us all of that done. Oxygen sealer I don't really care about. Bacterial sludge and cavernous vine, that one will be good to do. Definitely good to do the Mars dungeon. I don't know why it wants the cargo rocket, but then it wants tier 3 plates. Large oxygen tanks will be good to do. Chlorobenzene would likely also be good to do. Salt water, that's pretty easy to make already. I already have salt water from tier stocks, so I could easily grab that. But it would definitely be nice to get the chlorobenzene. I forget exactly what that's useful for, but it's definitely useful. So let's go ahead and slap on our thermal padding. There we go. And now we are all good to go when it comes to getting ourselves set up for the next phase. So here we go. Yay. See if I can remember the right key for this. Is it that one? Nope. That one? Yeah, there it is. So there's our rocket. You can see the little boosters hanging off on the sides there. So that's definitely a good thing. Anyway, I am going to get this thing fueled up and ready to go for the next episode, where we will travel to Mars, Phobos, and Deimos and start getting ourselves a little bit further along in the EV quest. Till then,